Hey everybody, welcome back. Movie review time, where we geek out about a movie we just saw, and we just saw 1917. I'm not even doing
you got it right this time.
I know what movie. I know my movies. I know movies good. Anyway, this is gonna be our, I don't know what that was. This is going to be our spoiler discussion. So we are going to talk some spoilers about this movie. Probably not a lot, because there's not a lot of specifics to get into, but we are going to be doing spoilers here. So we'll give you a moment to click out of the video if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want anything spoiled. Even if you have seen it, highly recommend you watch our no spoiler review anyways. That's more of our actual review. Plus we do some Oscar rankings and talk now that the Oscar stuff is out. So that is linked in the description below and all that kind of stuff. Also, we'd like to remind you we do not consider ourselves film critics or reviewers per se. We use review as metadata in the title. It's just easier to call it a review. But we're just film nerds that love to talk about movies, especially me during Oscar season. Somebody else through Oscar season, not quite as much. But she indulges me as I indulge her on occasion. Although we haven't gotten any plays in a while, but we need to after Oscar season. Because I like those too. But that's always been our deal. Is like I pay attention to the movie releases. She pays attention to the play releases.
Stop paying attention to play releases because I haven't had any energy.
I know. I suck it all out of you. Anyway, so you can also check out the Stardust app for 30-second reviews right out of the theater, reactions, things like that. And you can check out Patreon for movie reviews. I'll do everything in between. Like I'm going to do Bad Boys at some point this week. And probably Bad Boys 2 because I still have to watch that as well. I'm not having you watch that one. I'll tell you if there's anything you need to know for part 3, because I don't think you really loved part 1.
It was okay.
All right. And I'm just excited for part 3. So
I was just amazed by the amount of heavy lifting Martin Lawrence did.
Yeah, especially back then. But anyways, we're not here for that. We're here to talk about 1917. So here comes your spoiler warning. Your spoilers. Boom. All right, so 1917, fantastic. Totally see why it won Golden Globe and all that stuff. But again, more of that in the no spoilers. Totally understand why it's nominated. We ran through what 4 we've seen so far. We'll keep reviewing what we can. And we'll update you. And of course, on February 9th, we'll be doing our live stream reaction to the Oscars, and I am excited that I get to see everything again this year, or at least almost everything, because like last year, I had so much, it made the Oscars so much more fun for me, having seen everything, even like down to the shorts and the documentaries and stuff, because I really got to care about everything. So I'm excited to do that again. But 1917 is going to be hard to beat. I'm not sure anything else in the running that I haven't seen is going to be capable of beating that for me. Again, as we kind of discussed, just for sheer filmmaking and it being such an experience cinematically.
Filmmaking, yes, but at the same time, I kind of like the Jojo Rabbit. It was so much more creative. Yeah,
but knowing how Academy works and stuff, that's not going to get the votes.
How it, it could turn the mood like on a dime.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was excellent filmmaking, and I'm glad Taika is nominated, and he definitely belongs there in the nominations, but this is like old school Hollywood filmmaking right here, and that's going to get all the love.
Yeah, and like I said in the other one, it's extremely well done, but I'm not into war movies, so I really don't care to watch it again.
I understand.
That's just the way I am.
Yeah.
I just watched it because I heard about how it was shot, and I was like, okay, let's see this in action.
Yeah, I totally get that, and I appreciate that you went and saw it. So if we can just get her excited about The Irishman, we'll be in good shape.
God, fuck no.
But that said, let's see. The big thing I want to talk about.
I've never really wanted to watch any of Scorsese's movies.
You know, it's weird. I feel the same way, but then I watch them and I fucking love them because he is a master filmmaker. So that's what I keep telling myself about that one. It's like, I'm not excited for it, but I'm going to love it. I just know. But the big thing I want to talk about in 1917 is probably the crying, because I hinted at this in the note, in my crying.
Right.
This really caught me off guard. Now, granted, if you get connected to characters and one of the characters dies or whatever, sure, that can do it for me. I didn't really feel that here. I was really shocked and saddened when the other guy died, especially so early.
I wasn't expecting him to...
Not like that.
Not that early, and actually I kind of thought it was really the other guy who's going to get killed off, just because...
I thought so too.
Just because all the shit seemed to happen to him.
I was almost waiting for it to be a running gag that it's like he just keeps getting injured and like he's just in tatters by the end, not quite dead yet.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, but and we'll come back to some of that stuff too, but what really hit me, what really got me emotional, and this is where I knew how well the movie worked on me, because I never actually thought about it during the movie. I never really thought about the weight that was building on my shoulders and the tension and how I was just tense through that entire like hour and 45 minutes up until he delivers the message. And after he delivers the message and he walks back out of that bunker, I just breathed a big sigh of relief, and I just felt all this weight go away. And then I just started crying, and I was like, wow, that's like, it's an unusual type of cry for me in a film.
I did not.
Well, obviously, robot. No, I'm kidding. But only a little bit.
I may have gotten a tiny bit misty-eyed at the end. But that's only because I'm not entirely sure he didn't die at the end.
Well, yeah, and I want to hear your thoughts on that too in a second. But I was almost finished with what I was getting on. So for me, that was a very different thing. It was like a tension relief. It was like just this like feeling of almost accomplishment. Not that I accomplished it, but so I thought that was really interesting. And then I just kept me emotional through the rest of it, and like I just couldn't stop crying even through the credits. And it wasn't like bawling like it was just like, wow, just tears keep coming. I'm just like, oh man. And it did add some more emotional weight to the brother scene, and and that was a great performance by whoever played
Richard
the older
Madden?
brother. Yeah, Richard Madden. Thank you. And then
King of the North.
Is that who he is?
Yes.
Because I was trying to put my finger on where I know him from. So all right on, cool. Thank you for solving that mystery.
Was it Rob Stark?
That would be Rob. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. But he was great in that brief little scene too. And again, the celebrities in this brief scenes, but they're great in it. Colin Firth and Benedict. Benedict was really good in his.
What about the other guy he's like the Q in the Kingsman movies? Merlin.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about Strong, Mark Strong.
Okay.
Yeah, he was really good in his bits there too. But I wanted to get up to the part you wanted to talk about at the end, because you picked up on this, and I didn't get this, but I think in hindsight, I think there is something to what you're saying.
So the very, very last scene in the movie where he's been told to go to the mess hall, but instead he climbs up this hill to this one standing barren tree.
Yeah.
Which is basically taking us back full circle to the beginning of the movie.
That's true, yeah, because he was sitting against a tree. Nice. Keep in mind, we do these reviews right out of the theater, so I haven't had time to process everything. But okay.
and the other beautiful thing that they've done here is, it's spring. It's his birthday, actually.
Oh yeah, the movie started on my birthday. I totally forgot about that. I was like, Mary, it's April 6th.
So it's spring, so it's cloudy the entire time, and it's France, which isn't that far from Britain, so just gloomy weather.
Yeah, it looked very British in the beginning.
But at the very end, you have the sun breaking through.
Yeah, he's looking at the pictures, and it does turn out he is a father. I like how they reveal that.
But he does this thing where he sighs, you don't see, and then he's just very still, and I'm like, did he just die?
It goes to black.
Yeah.
And I didn't quite catch that. My head was in other places. But when she brought that up, I think there is something to that. Now, whether he actually died or not, I think if that's there, what you saw, which I believe, I think maybe that was just one of those, we'll leave it up to the audience kind of things.
It's sort of like at the end of Inception,
Yeah. It's like did it or didn't it kind of deal. And I could see that totally being the case
the thing
here.
Is, he's been blown up, shot at,
drowned,
nearly drowned,
concussed.
There's probably some internal bleeding going on inside.
Yeah, or even just that sheer exhaustion, which I love when they show that, and when he's in the water in the river, and like he almost drowns because he passes out. That was a really cool little moment.
Yeah. So I mean, I could totally believe him. It's just going like, I can stop now.
Yeah, mission accomplished kind of thing. Yeah. So I think that was a really good catch. Yeah, I think it's a
quite
good
frankly, because if he didn't die there, he probably died 2 weeks later from infections.
Yeah. Oh, the hand with even just that first bit of barbed wire in the hand was like,
and then sticking it in a dead person.
Oh yeah, see, like the rats.
Mud and the.
But startling the rats out of that body was just like, that was early, and just one of those, oh god, the horrors of war. That's like legitimately horrifying.
Yeah.
And then seeing like the what do they call it? Past the line when it's like no man's land. Thank you. Yeah, it was really neat seeing that again, and honestly too, that kind of made me real quick. I had a thought. It's like, I want to go watch All Quiet on the Western Front again. I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years. That was an also trench warfare classic film. But yeah, I thought all that was beautifully done. Like even the emaciated dead horses and the flies and all that stuff around it. I mean, it's horrifying, but it was very real and believable. And just that tension of, you know, they have to go up across that section of land, and, you know, Wonder Woman's not there to protect them. But, you know, just that tension of as soon as they rise up over it, it's like, any second, if they're wrong, they get shot and they're dead. I mean, like,
by the way,
was,
one of the other things is, and I'd never really seen this before, but when they got to where the German guns had been, those giant shells, it's just like, wait a minute, are we suddenly Lilliputians? Because you guys look tiny.
Yeah, like it was bigger than like their thighs, those shells. It's like, damn.
Yeah, they were so huge, and there were mountains of them, and it just made them look so tiny as they walked by.
And even the claustrophobia of being in that German bunker. And then especially with the rats there. I even love the line that even the rats are bigger. And then the fucking rat hitting the tripwire, and like, it's just shocking. You see it kind of coming, but just still where everything had been so quiet, and then just everything goes into chaos mode.
That was a very interesting booby trap.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure those were sacks of meat of, we'll just say, indeterminate origin. I'm pretty sure you did not want to open those up.
No matter how hungry you were.
Yeah.
And we were very hungry.
But it's just like, because it looked like part of the trap was just going like, just in case nobody walks through and sets this off, we're just going to set these things where the rats will cut them down eventually, and then try to drag them out and trip the trap themselves. That was a weird ass trap. I
don't know if that was the intent of that. Maybe it was.
I feel like that was, because it's like, otherwise, why would they leave that shit hanging up?
I don't know. I mean, maybe that's something from history that I'm unaware of, that they had to keep their food off the ground to make it harder for the rats
when you
or something.
take your food with you.
I don't know. Not if they had to get out of there in a hurry. It depends on how fast they were trying to get out of there. You know, I don't know. And apparently the Germans were far more well stocked than the other side. So I don't know, because to me it just felt like they left the tripwire by the door, by the food. It's like, hey, humans, come over here, and you know, so. But anyways, it was pretty shocking. And then seeing the dude all covered in dust, and he's having to jump and follow the guy through while everything's collapsing around him. It's just like, Jesus, man.
Just jump as far as you can.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, again, it's very real, and, you know, it's harder to say in the heat of the moment, but it's like, you kind of just want to be like, just tell him it's 3 feet. You got to jump like 3 feet, but you got to do it, you know. But I get why I understand. In the heat of the moment, you might not think about those things, or at least clearly say them. But yeah, so all that stuff was fantastic.
Yeah.
The stuff though, when he's getting shot at in the nighttime city with like the flares going up and down, and just like, like that's just scary. It's like, you just don't know any second.
Yeah, that is freaky. Don't think I've seen that before.
Right, and that's one of the things I was saying. Like, any future wars beyond that, you probably would not get away with that, because you start getting into machine guns and stuff. I mean, it's one thing if, you got to shoot and pull the bolt and all that. You might be able to straight outrun guys shooting at you, but that was pretty goddamn intense. So
yeah.
And even the stuff with like when they get into the German, I've used the word already.
Barracks.
Not barracks, but trenches.
Trenches.
And like they kick over the coals and they're still smoking. Like, oh, they haven't been long gone. You know, things like that. Just all those little moments really set up the tension. And even the fact that they wanted to save the German pilot, they were trying to be nice to him, and then that reveal that you come back around here and go, no, and you hear this, it's like, oh, fuck, dude. Shit. And that was a heartbreaking, harsh death to deal with as well.
Yeah, it's just like, did not expect him to kick it that early.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that was the other thing too, because then I was like, are we gonna get like an hour and a half of just the one dude running in silence? So it's kind of neat the way he kept bumping into other things and having other things pop up. So
well, I like how they handled because this is a one-shot sort of deal. Is like, we need to do a time jump. We're gonna knock your ass out. Because
that was also clever. Like, you don't think about the fact that if you are doing something that's supposed to feel like it's all in one, and it needs to take place over, like, that it has to be in real time, essentially.
Yeah.
But they need to tell the story over, like, 24 hours. It's like, you can't do that in a 2-hour movie in one shot. So I thought that was a really clever way of doing the time jump. And I like that when you come back from it, you're not exactly sure what's happened. Because I don't know about you, but I started wondering, wait, did he get captured? Is this a torture? Is he still where he was? Like, I just thought that was kind of neat the way they brought you back into that. And then the way that he goes down the stairs, but the camera goes up the stairs, out into out the window to see the landscape lighting up in the flares, and then he comes back down to walking over his shoulder. I mean, even things like that. Like, I understand the passing off the camera and hidden cuts and shit, but it's like some of those things are just damn impressive. Like, I'm still like scratching my head. I want to go watch the behind the
I wonder how many
of
of those were drone shots.
Well, there was definitely some drone work in there. I noticed drone people were credited in the credits, so I'm sure there was some. But yeah, man, just everything about that was really, really cool. It's an excellent movie. Went in with high expectations, came out very satisfied, very moved. Thought it was an excellent piece of filmmaking, and that is most likely going to win the Oscar. I'm not really sure any of the other Best Pictures can contend. I mean, again, everything I've seen, I've loved, so I'm not going to be too upset with anything that wins. But because honestly, too, I always pick they never actually give it to. Well, on occasion. Since we've been doing these live streams, one time they've given it to the movie I wanted it to go to, but that was only after they gave it to the wrong movie. Which we have a great reaction to, by the way. That's on my channel.
Was it La La Land, then Moonlight, or the other way around?
No, you had it right. Yeah, okay. It was they incorrectly announced La La Land when it was actually Moonlight. And of course, last year I wanted it to be Dunkirk because to me that was an experience that can only be done cinematically, and to me that's a big part of what makes a Best Picture a Best Picture. You know, I forget what won last year. But
Green Book.
Green Book. Oh yeah, because the voters got split and everybody's like, wait, of all those movies, Green Book? I mean, it was good, but it was like low on the pack. And we think it was split voting that caused it. Between Bohemian Rhapsody and A Star is Born.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it's a story you can easily translate to a stage play or read in a book and get the same feeling from, it's not as much cinema as something that can only be done like a Mad Max Fury Road. Like, that's not going to work as a novel, you know? It's not going to work as a stage play.
But the thing is, you're going to have to rely on everybody else judging on the same criteria.
That's what I'm saying. They don't do that. I was just saying that's typically one of the things I look at and why I typically pick the thing that doesn't end up winning. So it is possible 1917 doesn't win, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna. We'll see. And then Joaquin, as far as I can tell, the only competition he possibly has is Adam Driver in Marriage Story, but we'll see. But yeah.
Because we still haven't seen Marriage Story.
No, not yet. Gonna. You know what? It's on Netflix. And it's in 4K Dolby Vision!
I can't wait for Saturday Night Live when he's hosting. Because I want him, since Scarlett Johansson is dating one of the head writers, I want them to do a parody of Marriage Story with him as Kylo and her as Black Widow.
Yeah. And I think there's a strong chance of that happening. It just makes perfect sense.
It won't. I bet you.
But I mean, I would not be surprised if it does, because all the elements are there, like you said, you know, because she just recently hosted. He's gonna host. She has the connection with the dating. It's Oscar season that he's coming back for, and he's nominated for it. So I mean, for them, they have to parody.
And you know, Star Wars just came out, and Black Widow will be coming out soon.
Yeah, it's too perfect not to. So fingers crossed on that. And
anywho,
is that this Saturday that it comes back? No, it's like next Saturday.
24th,
okay, so we'll get Marriage Story in beforehand, so we'll get the references if they do it.
Okay. Okay.
All right, yeah. But anyway, so good. You good? All right. So let us know, have you seen 1917? Which of the Oscar movies have you seen, and what are your rankings thus far? We'll keep updating you as we go along, of course. But let us know. Geek out with us in the comments. We do love to hear what you have to say. Hey, cutie. Other than that, you can click the thumbs up button, give us that good old thumb of encouragement, as we do love to be encouraged.
Some of us is going to need it.
To get through the Oscar movies. Yeah. And...
The Irishman.
Hey, I have to go watch Les Mis. You don't, so... yeah. I
kind of refuse to watch Les Mis.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, it's best foreign, except for best foreign, you know, you're fine. Yeah, I just kind of... I don't require... But I request that she sees all the best pictures and all the best animated. But she loves animated.
Animated is not hard to talk me into.
No, that's her jam right there. So, and we got surprisingly 3 out of 5 of those still to see, but we will. But yeah, so let us know what you're thinking, all that kind of stuff. And Patreon, Stardust, look up TheEricButts, use the links in the description below. Now we're gonna get out of here because we got a lot more stuff to watch, and we're gonna do that. And we'll talk to you all later. Okay, so I fucked that up. We'll see you all later.